All right, I'm a little nervous when I do these, but I want to start with the root thing that nobody is facing. All evidence comes through experience, thus every piece of evidence for mind-independent material reality, i.e. scientific realism, which I now mentally put in air quotes, comes through experience. Step 3, therefore using experiential evidence to prove the existence of something supposedly independent of experience is circular reasoning. Okay? That means all externalisms are equally baseless. Materialism, theism, simulation theory, any of them. It doesn't matter. So we need to redo science. If we're going to pretend to be rigorous, if we're going to pretend to be evidence-based, if we're going to pretend to be interested in simplicity, if we're going to pretend to be interested in logical consistency and not making totally evidence-free, baseless assumptions, then we have to discount all externalisms because they cannot be proven. The magic window. Okay? This thought experiment is about imagining you had a window that when you look through it inserts a perfectly accurate picture of external what's out there reality into your brain. No optical illusions, no delusions, no missing data. It's all there and you completely perfectly understand it. Here's the problem. Looking through the window is still an experience. Remembering what you saw is still an experience. And remember, every thought you're working on operates on a delay. Temporality shows that you can never ever see what's actually outside. So if there is an outside, it's inaccessible forever. Okay? I just get so frustrated because this is ridiculously simple. Like, the journals kept telling me go away, so I made this. This is the whole thing, 2 pages. It would be 1 if I made the font a little smaller or adjusted this margin. And you know what? I might do that because, why not, right? And this is a repetition because this abstract contains the entire argument. There it is. That's where I got this over here. That's where I got that. Okay? That's what this post is about. This is Dante's Limbo, which is what I feel like. See? So I put it in there. That's where all this comes from. So yeah, I'm like, I didn't invent this. It just fell out while I was trying to solve alignment, and I feel like I did. And there's the entire thing. But like this right here. If it's wrong, someone should be able to point to the error or which premise is fault. Where does the inference fail? So that's this, where I exhaustively searched for any evidence that anyone had made this move before and been wrong. And of course, that's a compliment to go with the genealogy paper, which is, a complete dissection of what's been done before, how close everybody got, and how none of them are doing what EE is doing. It completely blows my mind. Like, I don't understand why this hasn't already happened. It really should have been on a clay tablet 3,000 years ago. How did nobody simply say, no assumptions? Let's see if we can do rigorous thought without any of them. Apparently nobody but me, till me. And I still can't get anybody to understand it. So that's what this post is about. You know, I can't get anybody to stick with it. I can't get anybody to, you know, really come down on a side. The people that do debate me about it, that's a whole separate massive thing. So like, let's say, go to my publications. I think I can search for like core belief. This isn't all of them, but this is like the majority of them. Wait a minute, I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing something wrong. So is it papers? Yeah, maybe it's papers. Core belief, immunity, sergeant. All right, it's a bunch of, you know, other. I didn't write 900 papers. Give it time, I guess. Anyway, but yeah, I got that one and that one and that one and that one and that one. All these are me. These are now okay. There's it stops being me, but there's, you know, other references to it. I have a list somewhere, but every time I get an argument, it's not really an argument, and they're all completely different, and they don't converge. Like if I have one weak point, they would all be finding it, right? That's what this it goes back to this. Where is it? I should have something like that. Standard refutation. What would exist if it had been done? Establishing, integrating into philosophy, alternative explanations, positive evidence. It's in here somewhere. Pretty sure that it's like, I think I used the word converge. I guess not. Maybe it's not in this paper. But yeah, I pointed that out somewhere. That like they would have, you know, all found the hole. If there's blood in the water, they would have found it, but they don't. They circle and they're like, one guy said he was a philosophical zombie and all this other stuff. Other guy said experience doesn't exist. Okay, whatever. And there was another thing I was going to say. Anyway, it just branches off into 1,000 different directions because it's not wrong. And if it had been wrong, we'd see this big imprint of it being wrong somewhere. But this is the total, like it's like 7 months or 8 months or something, because if I go to, you know, 6 months, then it actually cuts off. But I just wanted to show the general growth curve here. It's pretty substantial. Let's hope it continues. And I have a feeling it will, because something insane happened recently, but I can't announce it yet. I'll leave it at that. And this isn't even my whole area, you know. Like I also have this. Not that anybody seems to care, but I mean, you know, 64 downloads, it's not nothing, right? Nostalgia is just mourning for a lost hope, being reminded of a hope you once had that can now never be fulfilled. You know, like you hear a song and it reminds you of the girl you didn't ask out, and she's, you know, married and in Australia now, so it's like, too bad, it's over, give up, you know, that kind of thing. But anyway, there's this too. Sagan is all about overemphasizing how we're all worthless, you know, the classic pale blue dot. But Fred Rogers, you know, Mr. Rogers was all like, you know, your feelings matter, and I'm going to help kids to navigate the emotional, experiential reality of their world. It's like, I never would have thought that Carl Sagan is actually being the bigger fanatic, because EE shows that religious externalisms and scientific realism are equally baseless. So really their only difference is predictive power. And that's actually not a measure of accuracy. Like you can make a perfectly predictive religion by simply making your religion vague enough. And I kind of feel like QM has done exactly that, but that's a whole separate thing. But the point is that external material reality and the existence of, like divine spaces like heaven or limbo or hell or whatever are equally baseless on an evidence basis. Because it's like all evidence is experience, and you just can't get outside experience. That's what the magic window thought experiment is about. You just can't get outside experience to verify anything, ever. Ever. So that means if we're going to be rigorous, we need to just basically reframe all of science as experience patterns. And the funny thing is, the sciences that actually really work do so because they've already done that. Math doesn't presuppose a material external mind independent reality. It doesn't have any kind of ontological baggage. It just works with patterns directly because they're abstractions. Information theory is the same way. It's working because it's an abstraction, because it's pure patterns. I think quantum mechanics is doing a similar thing. To the extent that information theory is quantum, same deal. So, yeah. And, yeah, this was fun. Right. Yeah. I mean, just scam it. It's just, that's all they do is just super scam. It's so much craziness. So yeah. And then I try to post it in philosophy, and of course banned for using AI or something. Like, okay, whatever. They've just turned off text posts. I mean, I don't even know. That place is so strange. It's like all you can ever do is just post stuff that's already been peer reviewed and then say approved things about them. I mean, it's the most... It's a big masturbatory LARP. And speaking of LARP, because, yeah, core belief immunity proved. I don't know. I don't know what this video is about, really. I guess I wanted to, like, I suck at this, right? I hate that I have to do marketing to, like for example, EE is the polar opposite of limitivist materialism. That's a totally well-known thing. People are still into it. Like that Dennett guy, he's into it. And apparently, no one thought to do the opposite. What? Weird. Why is it doing that? Oh. Wow, okay. So, what the... Okay. Why is it doing that? That's not... I don't want to edit it. There we go. Can I read it now? Yes, okay. So yeah, these people, they literally say that they don't exist. They're like the ones saying experience isn't a thing. Which, what? They're so committed to their assertion that there is a mind-independent external reality that they discount the evidence of their own existence. to me, that's purely just performative, I guess. Like, you can't. How can you say that you don't exist? It's like, by saying you don't exist, you're proving you exist. Something spoke, right? So you don't feel stuff? I mean, my brain immediately goes to smart-ass satire places. I just want to like, slap them in the head and be like, so you didn't feel that? And they'll be like, ow, you hit me. I'm like, yeah, I know. You experienced me hitting you. Experience isn't an illusion. What illusion compared to what even, right? So this is a whole thing, and it's crazy too. But my point in just saying anything was that this demonstrates how you need an opposite. And nobody thought to be like, okay, so if going all in on materialism necessitates deleting my own experiences from the realm of stuff that can exist, maybe I should just delete materialism and stick with what I know for a fact exists, experiences, setting aside the realization that all evidence, all data of any kind is an experience. You see what I'm saying? There should have been an opposite. It's like nobody noticed